Early December 2016. Camp Nou turns into a cathedral of noise, and the game the world calls a religion is a single breath from deliverance. Barcelona lead, Madrid chase, 90 minutes stretch like wire. Then, one last corner, one last run, and Sergio Ramos rises into the night, a forehead like a hammer. 1-1. The stadium exhales, the cameras hunt for the usual star. Cristiano Ronaldo looks composed, focused, almost carved from the moment. But focus can be camouflage. The night before, a different spotlight had hit him. A magazine cover, a headline heavy with numbers and names, and a single word that bends empires. Leaks. The files. It began quiet and small, like all great ruptures do. September 2015, a new domain flickers alive. Football leaks. At first, it's a trickle. Contracts that were never meant to be public. Emails that read like stage whispers. Fee structures, image rights, side letters, the financial grammar of a billion-euro theater. Then, the trickle finds a riverbed. John, the ghost behind the uploads, decides not to hoard oxygen. He floods it. Terabytes spill into a European media consortium with Der Spiegel in the lead and a circle of partner newsrooms, building a method out of chaos. Verify, cross-check, call lawyers, sleep badly, repeat. The stories land in waves, a transfer every fan thought they knew acquires a new price tag. Gareth Bale to Real Madrid, not the tidy 91, but 100.8 million euros. The numbers under the numbers. Neymar's salary peeled open at Barcelona, a contract that lets Messi climb to 555 million over 4 years. Performance ladders, loyalty triggers, image rights stacked like bricks. Agents' cuts laid bare, bonuses scripted to the last comma, clauses written to be invisible until now. Ronaldo feels the heat of a different kind. Image rights income, rooted through a neat little Irish company, then onward to a shell cradled by a faraway tax haven. Structures that once looked like clever accounting now look like a courtroom exhibit. Prosecutors move words around like knives. Avoidance, evasion, intent. He denies wrongdoing, points to advisors, insists he played by the rules he was told existed. But the temperature in the room rises, because the room is the world, and the world loves a clean narrative even when the numbers are dirty. The empire and the ask. If the leaks were only about stars, the story would have been smaller. But behind the jerseys is an economy. And behind that economy are firms that treat players like derivatives, assets to be sliced, parked, and optimized. Doyen Sports had discovered the algebra of third-party ownership. Buy a future, take a slice, pressure the present. In a world that prefers fairy tales, Doyen looked like a villain central casting would applaud. Offshore structures, secret arbitration, contracts hinged on leverage. The files carve open the mechanics, who takes how much, when, and why. When the empire feels heat, it does what empires do. It calculates. One morning in London, Doyen's boss opens an email from a stranger calling himself Artem. The subtext breathes through the screen. There is a price at which your secrets will sleep. Shock gives way to math. Math gives way to a meeting. Not a boardroom, a gas station off a highway near Lisbon, fluorescent light washing everything to the same sterile color. Lawyers arrive like chess pieces. In the parking lot, an unmarked car, a contingency. At the table, phrases get careful. Donation, resolution, damage control. The man on the other side will not give them a name. He offers relief, not absolution. The deal wilts under its own claustrophobia. The leaks keep coming anyway. Courts wake. Publics arrive. Doyen's reputation takes on water, then the hull breaches. You can argue ethics until your jaw aches. Balance sheets are not sentimental. Within a couple of seasons, the company that once pulled strings looks like a puppet with cut cords. The hunter's shadow. The person behind John begins to speak. Interviews from unremarkable cafes, a mattress on a floor, a laptop that opens and closes with the reflex of someone who understands how quickly a room can change. He says he is a fan, and he names lineups from memory the way other people recite poems. He worries aloud about the names behind the money. the offshore skein that runs beyond sport into places where the world is hungrier and the law is looser. He refuses a face. He keeps a city. Somewhere in Eastern Europe, they write. Investigators write too. Warrants, call logs, quiet reports. They follow not just a man, but a pattern. The devices he burns and replacements he favors. The hours he keeps. The gravity wells he can't resist. A father books a flight. A sister makes a call. Surveillance is patient. It waits for people to be people. The path unspools from Porto to Budapest. Stairwells and keyholes. A building that looks like all the others until it isn't. Dawn comes with boots on steps. A knock, a pause. The door yields. Inside, a laptop, hard drives, phones. Everywhere. The dry rustle of paper printed out of paranoia and principle. The story fractures and multiplies. Prosecutors in Portugal write the charges. Illegal access, data theft, attempted extortion, and defense lawyers draft a different sentence about public interest in whistleblowing. In the files are football's secret diaries. In the city streets outside are children in replica shirts who just want a goal. Both truths exist. A crime can also be a mirror. The ripples travel because ripples always do. Governing bodies open cases. Financial fair play stops being a press room phrase and becomes a forensic one. Some bans arrive, then crumble on appeal. Fines shrink but don't vanish. Reputations flinch. Clubs argue they complied with rules whose teeth were always blunt. Fans argue back about money, about meaning, about why loyalty is always the most expensive line item. And what of the man? Rui Pinto, said the reports, the name finally married to the shadow. He's found guilty on some counts, avoids prison with a suspended sentence, and remains, depending on your seat, either a hacker who crossed a line or a whistleblower who made the line visible. It's possible he is both. It's possible that's the point. The ledger we don't see. Football sells us a simple product: a ball, a field, 2 goals, 90 minutes, a miracle if you're lucky. But miracles are financed, and financing hates daylight. The lesson of football leaks is not that the game is corrupt and always has been. Cynicism is a cheap victory. It's that systems obey incentives, and incentives without oversight grow wild. Stars will collect salaries that command headlines. Agents will write clauses that feed nightmares. Clubs will hunt loopholes as if they were trophies. The only thing that changes those instincts is exposure, the pain of being seen. Back in that December, the camera lingers on Ronaldo as he walks toward the tunnel, shoulders squared against the noise. He is one of the greatest ever to play the sport. He's also a ledger entry with a face. That's not an indictment, it's a diagnosis. The spectacle survives because the spectacle adapts. Rules tighten, disclosures widen, accountants get busier, and the game goes on because it must. Kids need heroes. Cities need nights like this. The rest of us need to remember that behind every net ripple is a contract, and behind every contract is a choice about what a win is worth. Somewhere, a laptop lid lowers. Somewhere else, an email draft waits for a verb that won't incriminate the sender later. The floodlights switch off, the servers hum. The match is over, the story isn't. And if you listen closely when the stadium empties, you can hear it. The tiny click of a hard drive, the sound that terrifies empires more than any chant. Copy.